everyone. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and welcome. We are so excited that you're here for our third episode of Living Wellness Live. My name is Ashley Darkenwald.
Hello, my name is Christina Zakowski. Can you believe it? It's our third show.
It has been a wild ride.
Boy, has it been. We dare to dream big, and here we are hosting our own show on mindful living and wellness.
It has been a dream come true, and we have a fabulous show for you tonight with guests Stephanie Peters of Lady Boss Empire, Carissa Rasmussen with Clean and Lean, and Kelly Suggs with Lithe Wellness Solutions.
It will be super exciting to get to know them better, and we have Kelly, our recurring guest. It's dangerous. What do you tell us on the show?
That's right. I do recall her saying something about her being a very good cook last time she was here.
Right. So if anyone here mentions they're good masseuses, that could be, come back.
Might have you on the show.
Hairstylists,
That's
anything.
Right. 30 back massages in 1 hour.
Right.
Go. We'll see about that.
Right. But I think now it's time for some really good news.
Well, let's head over to the news desk,
Okay.
Christina. All right. All right. One hormone is getting all the attention. Good news for everyone who is looking for a natural way to boost their immune system. The hormone oxytocin is blowing scientists away all over the world with its ability to increase health and wellness. Many studies have proven its association with lowering depression and anxiety, helping you heal faster from any wound or disease, lowering high blood pressure, lowering stress levels, and the list goes on. So, how can you increase your oxytocin levels in your body? Where can you buy a dose, or what foods should you eat? Well, all those sound expensive, right? Doesn't have to be. Turns out all you need to do is turn to a trusted loved one and engage in a consensual embrace lasting at least 30 seconds. Hug it out. We would show you right here and now, but that might be a little awkward.
I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see how the show goes.
Right. We may need it at some point.
That's right. Yeah. Let's see if we like each other by the end of the show.
Ashley, you always have to do that. Intermittent fasting for healthy aging. Great news for anyone in pursuit of healthy aging. Harvard scientists have gained deeper understanding of why intermittent fasting leads to healthier aging. Let me spare you the details of the experiments done on worms and cut right to the gooey part. The idea of intermittent fasting is to refrain from consuming calories for specific periods of time, or in other words, limiting calorie intake during your waking hours. Unless you eat a lot during the night too, then you need to, Okay, during your waking hours, you want to limit your calorie intake. The general idea is to allow your body to reach a state of fasting, where all consumed calories have been digested and their energy have been used up. At that point, many healthful processes can take place in your body, with the most noticeable one being that your body taps into its own energy storage called your own body fat. This leads to better sleep, feeling light in the morning, and amongst other benefits, weight loss. Intermittent fasting can be as easy as closing down your kitchen after dinner and refraining from consuming any calories until breakfast. Easier said than done, but if your dream is to get a handle on your food intake, I bet our guest, Stephanie Peters, has some inspirations for you.
Absolutely. We're excited to hear what she has to say. And in more news, are you interested in participating in a Living Wellness growth group? Here are our upcoming growth groups. Donna's group begins Monday, March 12th in Monticello, right down the road. And Nicole's group, who is here with us today, thank you, Nicole, for being here. Nicole's group will begin Thursday, March 15th, and that is in Rogers.
Would you like to get connected with Living Wellness and be able to facilitate your own growth group? Become a Living Wellness facilitator. Our next facilitator training will be on St. Patrick's Day. What?
Well, Christina, you're going to have to be here.
Yeah, well, you know where I won't be on March 17th.
We'll dress in green again.
Yes, in spirit.
Feel free to chat with us or any of our Living Wellness team members to help you get plugged in to an 8-week small group or to become a facilitator if that's what you're looking for.
Now it's time to meet our first guest. Let me introduce our first guest today, Stephanie Peters. Stephanie Peters is a national speaker, author, and serial entrepreneur. She is the founder of Lady Boss Empire, an empowerment platform and resource center for female entrepreneurs.
Close. It was closer. It was close.
Besides building multiple businesses, she is a savvy real estate investor, host of the Boss Life podcast, certified John Maxwell coach, avid runner, fitness competitor, and a top performer in Miss Minnesota International Pageant. Help me welcome Stephanie Peters.
Oh, what an absolute doll. I love that girl.
She's hilarious.
So fun. Well, I'm 3/4 German, so I can relate.
Perfect. So can you do the interview in German?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, I can't either, so that works really well. Well, welcome, Stephanie. I'm so excited that you're here today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
I have been reading your book, which we are going to give away a copy for you in our giveaways. Are you excited about that? Yes? And I have read your book cover to cover, and it's very rare that I do that. Usually I'm a serial book reader. You're a serial entrepreneur, and I'm a serial book reader, so I read tons and tons of books. But oftentimes I will get the book, and I'll read like the first chapter, and I'll get the idea of the book, and then I put it down because I feel like I've got the idea. But you have so many great things in here, and I'm so excited to interview you and hear more about it. So without further ado, Miss Stephanie, we have a question that we ask most of our guests on the show, and so I will give that one to you. The first question that I have for you is, if you were a fruit or a vegetable, what would you be and why?
Okay, I feel like I'm back in the pageant. All these interview questions. Actually, in my interview at the pageant, they said, if you were a color of a crayon, what color would you be?
Oh, that's a good one. I should write that one down.
I do not like those type of questions, but let's try it. Let's see. Well, I would say I'm probably a vegetable because I'm not super fruity. I'm probably, I would say maybe asparagus. I would probably be asparagus because, sometimes people they don't like asparagus all too much, or maybe they do like asparagus, but they're at the point where they're like, well, it's good for me. I better take it. I better eat it. And so that's my best answer. That was kind of a wah-wah. So
that's a good one. We haven't had asparagus yet as an answer, so I'm excited to hear that. We've gotten a lot of variety, and we haven't had asparagus yet.
Okay,
so thank you for that. Yes, and now as I picture you, I'm just picture you as a giant asparagus. It's like Veggie Tales all over here up the stage. We're going to have a Halloween show where we have all of our guests back dressing up as the fruit or vegetable that they're going to be. Kelly Suggs, apple. Mm-hmm, that's right. Well, back to you, Stephanie. So tell us why you chose to write this book.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of times when I talk with women, they say, Stephanie, I want to go to that next level in my life, but I don't know how to do it. I just feel like I'm living life by default. I'm in this hamster wheel, and I don't know how to get out of my own way. And I was totally there at the age of 18. I had no prior business experience. I didn't know what I was doing. I felt like I was just going through the motions, and I wasn't getting any traction. And so just really throughout my story, I learned a lot of different things that helped to catapult me to that next level. And so I really wanted to share that with my tribe and my community. And so many women, once I started Lady Boss Empire, they said, you teach these leadership principles. I want you to dig deeper with me on that. So I came up with the book, and it's just been really fun to see how lives have been completely transformed through it.
Great, thank you. And you talk about leadership principles in your book, and one of the things you say is take the leap. You mention dare to jump is one of the chapters in her books, and so that's kind of our theme for tonight is dare to jump. So personally, what is one of the most difficult leaps that you have taken?
Well, there's a number of different difficult leaps. I think, as an entrepreneur, like even on Instagram, you can be scrolling through, your feed and you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many amazing people, incredible things that they're accomplishing. I just don't know if I have what it takes. And for me, I've had so many bumps in the road, but I don't think sometimes we expose those. I think one of the biggest things where I had to really take the leap and decide was when I was 18 years old. I was sitting at Starbucks in Edina, and I was sitting across the table from this guy. And I was really trying to get my business off the ground. And he looked at me and he said, Stephanie, do you really think you're going to be successful? Why don't you just go get a real job? Who are you kidding?
Ouch. That's not encouraging.
And not quite. And especially being a teenager and being on that high and low of the hormones are going everywhere. it just was I really, really questioned myself. And so then he just kept going further and further and just was like, you know what? I just think you've missed the mark. You don't have what it takes. And so I just remember running out of that situation and literally bawling on the phone to my mom. And I just said, I don't have it. I don't have what it takes. And long story short, I share, more of the details in my book, but I really had a come to Jesus moment where I just said, God, if this is going to work, it's going to have to be all you. And it can't be me, because I will tell you that I don't have what it takes. And so once I surrendered that, it was amazing how it was a scary leap, but I just decided to go all in. And when you pursue the why and you don't care about how you get there, it's just amazing how things transpire. And so that was probably one of the biggest leaps where I was like, Jesus, you got to show up, because I can't do this.
Yeah, that was one of the stories that I really enjoyed in your book, how you felt like you heard so clearly, crystal clearly, God telling you this is the direction for you to take.
Yeah.
And you said then you had this vision and you felt like it was really crystal clear. And those are really life-changing moments. And so I was thinking, what would you say to the person who feels like they don't have that, they haven't heard yet, or they just don't feel like their vision is crystal clear yet? It's nebulous maybe of what they're supposed to be doing or their purpose. Or what advice do you have for that person who it's not crystal clear yet?
Well, I think it's so important to take that next best step. And the way that actually my dad taught me, and I love the way that he says this, is he said, God can't drive a parked car. So, you got to just put it into drive. And if you're feeling like, okay, this is the feeling, or this is the place that I feel like God is calling me to, and it's not quite that right place, God's going to direct you. But he can't drive a parked car. And so you just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other and just saying, you know what? I've got everything that it takes. And 2 Timothy 1:7, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And so for me, that is something that I just cling to every single day. Some days I feel like I have the world by the tail, other times not so much. But I talk to a lot of the women on my team. You know what? Just take that next best step and take massive action, because action cures all fear.
Yeah, I love that. Take the next step, and it's usually right in front of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and do the best that you can with what you have in your hand. I think sometimes we're like, oh, I have to make this huge leap. Well, I think that huge leap actually starts to appear when, I think the best way to explain it is when that flashlight, it doesn't show everything all over, but it shows, okay, this flashlight can bring me a little bit closer, a little bit closer.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. You talk about big leaps in your book. On one of the pages you say, dig deeper, drive harder, and challenge your thoughts about what is possible. So how do you strike a balance between dig, drive, and challenge without striving or feeling like you're running ahead of God's plan for your life?
Yes. Well, I'll be the first to admit I was striving hard at the beginning of my business. And it was interesting because I kept feeling like I was putting my foot on the gas so strong and so hard, but yet I wasn't getting the traction. And so what I recommend is, okay, you know what? It's okay. One foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other, and it's just amazing how things transpire. So can you repeat the question one more time?
Yep. The question is, in your book, you say, dig deeper, drive harder, and challenge your thoughts about what's possible.
Yes. So I think working like everything depends on you and praying like everything depends on God. Because then you've got that happy medium of saying, you know what, I'm going to give it the best shot that I can in the here and now, but then I'm going to bless and release it. And I'm going to move forward.
Yeah, that's really great. When I used to do speaking engagements, I would get so nervous. And somebody finally said to me, "It's not about you."
Yes.
And that was so freeing.
Oh, isn't that the best? Because when you start thinking like, oh my gosh, it isn't about me. It's amazing how, like, I even remember listening to a podcast by Lewis Howes, and he said, if you're tripping all over yourself and you're wondering like, what are people going to think? What are people going to think? You're in a really bad mind frame. How can I add more value to other people? And how can I put myself out there? Because then you're not thinking about tripping all over, and it's just amazing how you can show up in your best self that way. So that's really amazing advice. I love that, Ashley.
Yeah. Well, thanks. And I have a question about books, since this one just came out last year, right? So tell me, are books like tattoos? Once you've had one, you want like all over your body? Are you going to write another book? Have you been starting to think about that
Yes,
yet?
actually, I just got my first tattoo last year as well.
Okay.
So now I'm kind of thinking I need to get another tattoo. With another
See,
book.
I knew it.
So total full circle. Absolutely.
So a little preview. What's your next book going to be about?
Well, there's a couple of different things that I've been thinking about. One of them is the name, kind of the running title right now is Invest Like a Boss, because I think a lot of women, they want to invest. They want to create those multiple streams of income, but they don't quite know how to do it. And just to give them really good, like, sustainable ways in order to do that, because I've done like a lot of real estate investing, and I'm always preaching residual income and multiple streams of residual income. Just in case one dries up, you've got a couple of others to choose from, and giving them just like the step-by-step, how-tos on that. So that's one idea, and then I have one other idea in my head. So we shall see.
That sounds like an interesting read. I think everyone can become more savvy about investment, even if you're not doing it. You might do it sometime in the future.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
So as we wrap up here today with our interview, and this time was so short, I hope we can have you on again in the future.
This is such a blessing. Thank you, Ashley.
I want to know, what is your one encouragement that you want to leave the audience with? So how about those today that are excited to take a leap, dare to leap, that are thinking about making a change or having something on your mind, or maybe you just are kind of stagnant. So what advice or encouragement do you have for that person today who's thinking about taking the leap?
Don't let the enemy rent space in your head. Because a lot of times we can get so lit up and inspired when we go to a conference or we go to something where we're like, oh my gosh, I have these amazing ideas. And then you jump on Facebook or you jump on Instagram, and then you're like, well, look at what that person's doing. Look at what that person's doing. Keep your eyes on your own yoga mat, because your journey is so much different than someone else's journey. And the lives that you're going to be able to touch that person can't touch. So you keep running your race and you keep doing the best that you can do. And when your head hits the pillow, it's going to be amazing how God is just going to bless what you're doing, and that you can just know in your soul, I did the best that I could do. And we're running it for a race of, one person. And so it's like, when we can just know that, hey, you know what, it is well with my soul, and I did the best that I could when I was here on this planet.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
And thank you so much for joining us. Please give Stephanie a warm round of applause. Thank you, Stephanie. And we'll be right back, so please stay tuned to meet Carissa, who is going to lead us in a little exercise. Yay! Welcome back, everyone. We are so excited to introduce Carissa Rasmussen with Clean and Lean. Let me tell you a little bit about her. Carissa has been a speaker at both national and local events. Carissa has been a Fox 9 morning show contributor since 2013. How fun. She is known for cultivating hope and inspiration through her presentations and online courses. Please help me welcome again Carissa Rasmussen.
Thank you so much for being with us, Carissa. And I have warned you, our first question tends to be, if you were a piece of produce, what would you be?
Well, okay, so I had a little bit of time to think about this, and at first I was thinking a banana, and I thought, no, I think I'm gonna be a strawberry because I'm a little bit curvy, and I love my I love my curves. I'm also fruity, which is why Steph and I make a great team. Yes. But don't let her fool you. She is also a little fruity. She's not just an asparagus, ladies and gentlemen. So I think I'd be a strawberry.
Okay.
I'm a little curvy strawberry.
Okay, that sounds sweet. Sweet and healthy. I think I said the same thing last time when Amy Peterson said she was a watermelon. Sweet and healthy.
I like that. Watermelons are good too.
Yeah, see, when you start thinking about it, it's just don't think about it too much. It's kind of just an icebreaker.
I like it. Okay.
I
like not having to think too much too. That's always great.
Right.
Yes.
So
Perfect.
she is in a very special case right now. You just had a baby 4 months ago.
I did. And yes, thank you. Yes, I actually had the cutest baby in the world 4 months ago. So, yeah, you forgot to mention that part.
I'm sorry, I forgot, but I can't. The co-host will have a problem with that.
Oh, I did. You know what? He is pretty stinking cute. He is really, yes.
We could have a baby pageant.
Oh.
Yes, we can ask them all sorts of fun questions.
Yes, adorable.
We'll see what comes out of that.
Yeah.
Well, but I would like to know, how did you know that it was time to get back into exercising?
Yeah, well, so I actually had preeclampsia when I was pregnant, which was not, and I was sick the whole time, which was not awesome. So I sort of had a combination of talking to doctors and also to nutrition response testers, which your next guest is one of those, and just working sort of collaborating with both. And just finding out when the right time for me to start exercising because I had high blood pressure. So I had to make sure that it was okay and safe. And so I took both the medical route and then also consulted my crunchy friends, which I love. Yeah. Taking both on, but just making sure that it's safe. But you know, I know that wellness is a huge part of my life, but I know that my why nots are my whys. So I used to say I can't work out because I have chondromalacia in my knees, I have asthma, I have a thyroid disorder, and so those things were all my I can't. This is why I don't want to. This is why I really don't have the energy, or hey, I might die if I exercise, if I have an asthma attack. These are real things. Yeah. But I've turned those all into my why I need to and want to work out, because I want to have energy to play with my kids. I want to have a healthy thyroid and a healthy body. I want to be able to control my breathing. So all of those why I could not became my why I need to. So as the sooner I could get back into exercising, the better for me.
Yeah, that's very inspirational.
Yes, well, thank you.
You have those fun things in your hand. What's going on there?
So these are my resistance bands. They have my little Clean and Lean logo on them.
Sweet.
And many times I had women saying, you know, I travel, or I just don't have time, or I don't have time to go to the gym, or whatever it is. And so I did not invent these, but I was going to say I did, but I didn't. So I came up with a concept of, here's something you can do no matter where you are, how much time you have. Resistance bands instead of weights. Not that weights are bad, but you can take these anywhere you are. You can use them at home. So I have resistance bands and sliders. So we're going to do a couple moves here, right?
Yes,
are you going to do them with me?
I will.
Okay, awesome.
I wouldn't.
All right.
In my mind.
Let's hope we don't trip over your heels. But if you do, I like laughing, so.
So do I.
Laughter is good.
Yes.
My last segment, on Fox was about heart health and how healthy laughter is. So
Yes.
if you can't laugh at yourself, let your friends laugh at you. I don't know what you're doing right now.
Yeah. That's why I'd always do this prior.
Let me help you.
Yeah, please. Thank you. So facilitators, show us how it's done.
Help your friends out.
Yes.
Here we go. These little things on your pants are pretty cool.
Well, thanks.
Okay, so whenever okay, do you guys want to do this with us? Yeah. Let's get our.
Standing up. That's why we have that space. So whoever chooses to participate.
We all choose to.
Can we do it without the bands?
You can do
Yes,
it without
yes.
the bands. Yeah,
Learn the
absolutely.
moves without the bands.
Anything that I'm doing with bands, you can do without bands. The resistance is just going to add a little bit more work for us.
Yes.
So we're going to start. I always tell people when you're working out, you want to work some of your major metabolic muscles. So those are your big muscles that are going to burn the most calories. And when you're building muscle, you're building natural metabolism burners, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to do some squats, which is going to work our quads, and we're going to keep our we're going to keep our chest high and while we're doing this, and we're going to squat down, and then we're just going to step out. So if you're staying in this squat motion, even when you don't have bands, you're going to feel it in your standing leg. You're still standing still leg. Look at you ladies. We're just going to do this all day long and see how many you guys can do.
Yay. What am I supposed to do?
99, 98. And then going out to the other side. So can you feel it with the resistance band? You can do it, of course, a little bit faster, and we can add some movement if we want to, but I'm not going to go too fast. But you could go back and forth.
I love it.
And add some cardio into this. So we're working those major metabolic muscles, those quads and
Glutes.
our glutes.
Yes.
My glutes happen to be a major metabolic muscle for me, maybe more so than other people. But I love them.
I always like to refer to my split personality.
I love it. Okay, so go ahead and stand up nice and tall. We can also use, this one maybe you can't do without these, and you actually can't do it with your microphone, so I'm just going to show it.
Can't do it.
But just working those triceps, which is not a major metabolic muscle, but a muscle that oftentimes women, when they come to me, say, I really want to work my triceps so that when I wave at people,
bingo
it's
wings.
just my hand waving.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So with resistance bands, you can put one hand on the chest and just pushing down.
Ooh.
And so you're working that second waver.
Wow, that is very helpful.
Yeah.
I can see it working
Can
here.
you?
Yes. There it is. There, that way to the beach.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah. So just putting in some work with your resistance bands. We can go back down to, there's so many things that we can do with these resistance bands. They're kind of fun.
Yeah.
We can do some, lunges, and we're going to make just a little bit, and then you can even come up and then add a nice little, there you go. I feel like I'm going to kick you if I go back.
Yes.
So just this resistance is going to add, look at this. Wait, where did everybody sit down?
Right.
What's going on? Come on, people. We're going to
Ariana's standing.
I promise you, this is not going to hurt you.
So what am I supposed to do with my glutes here?
Squeeze. Don't squeeze my glutes.
Oh, no, not yours.
Glutes.
I squeeze my own.
All right. And then, you know what, we have I have my sliders with two, and I can show you some moves with those if you want to see them, but you know what, I think we might be out of time.
We might be, and I would, since you have so many wonderful, inspirational things to say, I would like to hear that one inspiration you have for our audience members that may be looking to get into exercise, but have a lot of, I can't, in their minds.
Yeah, well, I would say the one thing that pushes me and drives me every day is just knowing that that you have what it takes, that you are, I think one of the things that women especially struggle with is knowing their own value and trying to make the time to take care of themselves. And knowing how valuable and how you were created uniquely with gifts that only you have, and that we need to take care of those gifts and love on ourselves in order to really give back to the people that we want to take care of, that we are taking care of, we need to do that. We need to take care of ourselves in order, a lot of people say fill your own bucket before you can fill someone else's. It really is true. It's so, so true. We need to be able to take care of ourselves before we can fully take care of other people. And I've seen that so much in my own life, and how much my life has transformed since I learned how to truly take care of myself and fill my own bucket. Yeah.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Give a hand for Carissa. When we come back, we will meet Kelly Suggs in the kitchen. Awesome work. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are in the kitchen with Kelly Suggs. I promised you she would be back. Kelly Suggs is passionate about fitting real food into real life and making it easy for other people to do the same. As a natural health practitioner, gut health expert, and holistic health coach, Kelly is a regular on Twin Cities Live, and her work has been featured in Modern Alternative Mama, Live Strong, Green Child Magazine, Mom Talk Radio, and Allergy Kids, and Living Wellness Live.
Absolutely. Yep.
I hope you're going to
I
add
missed
that
that.
to your...
I missed that, Christina.
Yeah.
And her work has been featured on Living Wellness Live.
Yes.
Several times.
Yes. Kelly, wow.
What are we making?
What
Okay.
are we making here?
So we are going to take all of these favorite foods and we're going to turn them into food as medicine. Because whenever you eat, you have a choice to make. Is it going to be food that supports all the hard work that you put into your health? Or is it going to be one of those times where you're like, I just don't care, I need to eat this? Or is it going to be a food choice that's like, that you're going to feel guilty about or whatever? And we don't want to ever make food choices we're going to feel guilty about. We're going to either enjoy the food that we eat and take it for what it is, or it's going to be food that makes us feel better. Okay? And it supports our health journey.
Food as medicine.
Yes.
Yes.
Heck yeah. So the first thing we're going to make a 3-course meal, and this probably looks a little bit like a normal everyday kitchen, because this is always what my kitchen looks like, because we live there, we cook there, we make it happen in the kitchen. And if you want to be healthy, you should do. You should make your kitchen work for you. And I'm also a little bit of a renegade in the kitchen. I don't always follow the recipes, but we make it work for us. So the first thing we're going to make is our Caesar salad. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, so this is actually really, really easy to make. You should always make your own salad dressing. You can use the right kind of fats, which are good for brain health and growth and development. For adults, you need your fats for healing. For kids, you need them for growth. You need them for hormone development, all kinds of good things. So today we're going to use avocado oil mayo, and then we're going to use a little bit of anchovy paste, which you can find by the tuna at the grocery store. And then there's Dijon mustard, homemade fermented garlic.
Smells really good.
Yeah, but super immune booster, flu booster, all that stuff. We're going to incorporate it here. And then a little bit of lemon juice. Okay, so that's the start. We're just going to whisk that up. And then watch my careful measuring here. About
Renegade.
a cup of mayo here.
That's how I cook.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, heck yeah. Okay, and then we're going to whisk that up. Whisk it, whisk it, whisk it. And this is actually my kids' favorite. It's all winter long they've been chowing on Caesar salad. And they're like, they asked me for a salad for lunch. I'm like, yeah, we can make that. And so I already added the Parmesan to the bowl here. And all we're going to do is take our just chopped salad, and we're just going to pop this in. And ladies, we can either make you a plate or you can try a little bite right off the bat. It's up to you.
We just dip a little lettuce in that dressing on top there.
You want to go for it?
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
I washed my hands at some point.
Yeah, do it. There you go. And we're just going to
Tastes like
toss
Caesar
that up.
salad.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And did
Just-
you see how easy that was?
Better.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Very fresh.
Yes. And
Is it the lemon
easy.
juice and the
Yep.
fresh
The lemon juice
garlic?
and Dijon mustard and the fermented garlic.
I
really
personally
kicks it up a
can't
notch.
taste any garlic.
No?
You didn't get the right bite.
That's because you didn't use 18 cloves
Right.
in your recipe. Mhm.
Right.
That's how many
You
Christina
might
uses
Then
on
I can
average.
about taste it a little bit. Like, oh, there's a little bit of garlic in there, isn't
Yeah.
there?
So there we go. That's our Caesar salad. And of course, we're going to avoid the croutons because those are highly allergenic. A lot of people are intolerant to those, okay? So we're going to avoid those. If you want to throw in some sunflower seeds or some raw sprouted pepitas, that'd be a great addition in place of your
little
croutons.
crunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me more about the food intolerance of grain.
Okay, so I know what you're getting at. So we're going to talk about babies and babies eating. Babies do not make the enzymes they need to digest food until they have teeth, okay? If a baby doesn't have teeth, you shouldn't be eating food. Now the next step to that is babies and children don't make the enzymes they need to digest grain until between the ages of 4 and 5. And some parents actually bring me their kids once a year because that all depends on our genetic heritage, right? German, French, Syrian, and Lebanese, it all depends on our genetic heritage. So between 4 and 5, some parents start bringing me their kids at 2, and we do find that they can eat some grains, but the vast majority of kids don't get all of them until between the ages of 4 and 5 when they have their crushing and grinding teeth, all of their molars, for making enzymes and digesting and crushing grains.
What are symptoms that you would notice in a toddler that shouldn't be eating grain?
Lots and lots of inflammation, cradle cap. A baby who cries is an unhappy baby. A baby who cries a lot is an unhappy baby. And that's a lot of times because of their food. So that means even mamas who are making milk cannot be eating all the grains either. Makes a big difference. Makes for healthy babies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What about behavioral issues with kids?
We get a lot of ADD and a lot of ADHD in kids who have that, who eat a lot of grains from too early. And then the other thing is it brings on a lot of, because we're not digesting those grains at those early ages, so it brings on a lot of pathogens and candida overgrowth, and that leads to a lot more trouble just from that.
And probably stomach aches too for the child.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Constipation, diarrhea, those kinds of things. Discomfort in general.
Yeah.
Kiddos not knowing why they're uncomfortable, not being able to sleep well.
Yeah. That certainly is against the grain of what you hear out there.
That's a little renegade in the kitchen, I suppose.
Yes. Thank you for that.
Yes.
Should we make some beef stroganoff?
Yes.
Okay, let's make this really healthy. So we're just going to start over here, and we're going to take our beautiful bone broth, and we're going to have this have been made at home. So let's get the chocolate chips out of the way so they're not distracting us. There we go.
Goodness.
Little distraction never hurt anybody. So let me grab this towel here. Okay, so we're going to take our beautiful bone broth, and ideally you want to make that at home. That's your food as medicine. It's full of gelatin, which is a gut healing. It's a colloidal substance, so it actually attracts digestive juices, whereas most food repels digestive juices. So store-bought doesn't usually have that. It's skimmed off. And then you just also you can get really good high-quality things. Now remember, as long as you're cooking in your kitchen, you're doing way better than anything you buy out of the box, like Hamburger Helper. And this is kind of what this emulates, is Hamburger Helper, okay? Which I grew up eating.
Me too.
A lot of. So, which we loved then, but now we know better. So we're going to take, our mushrooms are in here in the recipe. I'll give the girls the recipe so they can post it online.
Yes.
Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay.
Post it on the Living Wellness Facebook page.
Yes, so we've got fermented garlic, we've got mushrooms, we've got our parsley, which is very alkalizing. It can take anything kind of alkalize your body. If you're not alkalized, you're going to feel stiff and sore, and we're going to add our sour cream, which I like to use, see the measuring? I like to use...
Looks pretty precise.
Yeah, very precise.
Scientific.
Yes.
The Daisy brand sour cream, because it's 2 ingredients. It's cream, or it's cultured cream, 1 ingredient. And that is a rare find. So if you actually do buy something out of a box, a bag, or a package, you want 5 ingredients or less, and that's how you're going to keep yourself out of trouble. So we're just going to stir this up here.
So it's basically the entire box?
No, it's about 2 cups.
Okay.
So we're going to mix that up here. And then we'll get rid of this lid. And then we're just going to add that onto our grass-fed beef, okay? We want that grass-fed beef. It's got so much more nutrition. And when it's grass-fed, that usually means it's out in the pasture, so it's going to have a little vitamin D in it, which all of us Minnesotans are craving. So there's onions in there, there's more garlic. And we're going to put that sauce over our ground beef.
Wow, that looks just fantastic.
Yeah. And mix that up. And then if we...
I can show it without tipping it out this time.
This one's hot. There you go. This one's hot. So, and then the other thing we can do is if it's a little thin, we can add arrowroot powder. Arrowroot powder is another alkalizer, and it's not a potato starch or a corn starch. Those both spike your blood sugar, which then will pull minerals from your bones and teeth. So think osteoporosis, right, or cavities. And then I'm actually not going to take the time to add the arrowroot powder, because the magic of TV.
2 minutes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna grab this spatula and I'm gonna give you girls a taste. This is gonna be served over lentil pasta.
Wow.
Yeah, lentils are a superfood in their own right. That doesn't look very good, but if you if you make it at home and it doesn't sit for a few minutes, it looks so much better. So, and this actually, I will thicken before we serve samples to everybody.
I noticed that if you use something a little bit more liquidy and you put the bean pasta in or lentil pasta, then
Soak
it
it right
soaks
up.
it up, and then you don't
Absolutely.
even need to add any starch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but that is only if you don't serve it right away, I suppose.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, so if you girls, I'm going to give you this. Here's forks if you would like to try. And while you're trying, I'm going to start melting the chocolate chips for our incredible chocolate cake. This is our, let me grab it here.
We have such a difficult job.
I know, it's rough. Just pretend you're us.
This is our beautiful rustic chocolate cake, and I'll try and turn it this way so you can see it. And go ahead, girls, tell me what you think.
I've got a big bite here. This is going to be tough to tell you what I think.
I take 2 bites.
Very flavorful. You just go, Kelly. You just go.
All right,
Come on, Christina.
off
Let's
I
go
go.
over here.
We'll come over here, and I'll make the chocolate cake. You girls keep on going there, and I'll make the chocolate cake.
I found the
Okay,
salad.
So this chocolate cake is super easy. All we're going to do to make this is we're going to melt chocolate chips in a little bit of butter. We're going to take 5 eggs and whisk it up with some sugar,
good.
and then we're going to put it in a springform pan that has been buttered and then dusted with cocoa powder so it's nonstick. Pop it in the oven in a bain-marie. Everybody know what a bain-marie is? It's just a pan of water underneath. And again, Renegade, just get a pan of water and put it on the bottom shelf, and then set this over it, and then cook that for about an hour, and you'll have that beautiful, super easy to make chocolate cake without any grains or allergens. That's it. That's your cake, girls.
That looks. Are we going to get to taste that too,
It's
Kelly?
right there. It's plated up for you already. Go ahead.
Ooh. All right. Which fork was yours, Christina?
That was mine.
Oh, okay. All right.
Tell me what you think. This is
And
our
there's no
family's
grains
favorite
in
birthday
there.
cake. No grain. It is literally chocolate chips, butter, a little bit of sugar, and eggs. That's it.
That is delicious.
I would say that's what it tastes like.
And perfect for a
Wow.
mom who's nursing, perfect for a young
delicious.
kid's birthday party.
Yep. And it is really strong. It takes a moment, but
Yep.
then it really hits you. Wow, there's a lot of
And
chocolate.
chocolate is
Yeah.
so beautiful for your body. Helps your liver open up and release toxins. So you should be eating your chocolate.
Sold.
What if you add a lot of sugar to it, though?
Then it's not as good. Then it starts to cause a little bit of problems.
Okay,
So
it's always good to clarify
Yeah.
those kinds of messages.
But if you're not eating a lot of sugar in the rest of your life, if you're not eating the box, bag, and packaged foods, you don't have to worry about it as much, especially if you're already robustly healthy.
Well, thank you, Kelly. Thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
all this information and for cooking. We are excited to try it, aren't we? Kelly Suggs, everyone. All right. Well,
I believe it's time to start eating.
that's right. I'm getting even hungrier after I had those
Nom,
few
nom, nom.
bites.
That was awesome.
That was delicious. Are we going to have a transition here, Christina, so we can do our giveaways?
Well, we can make it part of the
Or
episode
we could do
too.
it afterward. We could do it afterward.
Afterward?
Yeah, we could do giveaways while we're sampling the food.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think it should be part of the episode.
Okay.
Yeah, so people
right.
know.
Then I need to get all of the tickets. I need to get the tickets. Who's got get your tickets out.
Because at Living Wellness, we're supporting winners.
That's right. And in the past, we've done one drawing. And
Yes.
this time, we are doing 3. So your chances are better. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about what we're giving away very quickly. We have got a Living Wellness journal. The cover is super soft, and it's, isn't this wrapped really pretty? Yes, it's wrapped so lovely. So we're going to give away a journal, and we will draw for that first. Christina, will you draw for the Living Wellness journal? This is an 8-week food and exercise journal, and it's really awesome.
People have been saying it has helped a lot
Yes.
in achieving their goals. 230464.
Anybody? Yay! Congratulations, Stephanie!
Yay!
Congrats, Stephanie. Okay, and then another book that we are giving away is Stephanie Peters' book, Unleash Your Lady Boss. This is, as I have mentioned, a fabulous read. So we'll be giving this one away. And I'm sure Stephanie will sign it for you if you ask her to afterwards. So, Christina, will you read the number off for us?
Yeah, it's very similar. 230469. Yay! Yay!
Congratulations.
Yes, awesome.
And then also, we have got this fabulous gift from Carissa with Clean and Lean. She's put some
Aw.
bands in there, and she's got some sliders. And then I think probably my favorite part of the whole thing is these Build Confidence cards that are
Aw.
just super lovely. So I'm excited for whoever wins this one.
Yes. 230475.
Yay! Congratulations. Come on up. All right, here you are. You're welcome. Okay.
That's fun.
Yes, that was fun. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And then Kelly Suggs is, her giveaway is that chocolate cake. And we all get to have some of that.
Yay,
So we're
we're all
excited to try.
winners.
Yes, we're all winners here at Living Wellness Live. Well, Christina, that was our show.
Yes.
What'd you think?
Oh my, I wanted to say just one thing that I really like, but it turns out it's a lot of things. Oh boy, I feel like oh my goodness. I love the whole idea of not letting your excuses hold you back.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and find a way to turn your excuses into your muses.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's good. And thinking of excuses, on the last show, Christina said she was going to make the fish dish from Bill Evans. So I'm holding you accountable here, Christina. Did you ever make that fish dish?
Yeah, and let me tell you that she needed someone to hold her accountable to actually ask me that question in the first place. So there we go. We're an accountability team here. Yes, thank you so much for asking, for checking in. Yes,
you're welcome.
I made the stuffed pepper with the fish dish, a version of it. I got the peppers ready. My son came and bit right like into an apple, so I couldn't use it anymore. So I sliced it up, and yeah, it was very close to the yes. So thank you for asking. I sort of made it.
Good. And we have that recipe on our blog if you're interested in the fish recipe. It was fish tacos.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. Delicious recipe.
Ah.
So,
What did you think?
well, I loved all three of our guests. I think they were fabulous. I think one of the takeaways that I have is I remember as she said it, I thought, that strikes home. And it is fill your bucket first before you fill other people's buckets. That just sang to my heart. And I think that sometimes we have this message of put ourselves last on the list. And I've done that many, many, many times. But I feel like when I'm taking care of myself, I'm better able to take care of those around me. So fill your bucket first. That was my takeaway. So thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we are excited to tell you that we have another show coming up. Are you excited about that as well? It is going to be in the beginning of June, so keep your eyes peeled for that. We're excited to announce that, and we'll post that on social media soon, so be watching for that.
Also in April, we are producing more episodes, but without a live audience. So be watching out for new episodes if you are interested.
Yes. And so with that, we want to say thank you once again to our guests. Thank you so much, Stephanie
Thank you.
and Carissa and Kelly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to our live audience and Facebook Live. If we have Facebook Live, do we get back online? Wonderful. Thank you, Facebook Live, for tuning in. And we want to say thank you. We have said that a few times, haven't we?
Yes, it doesn't hurt though.
No, but we are very grateful. And we will see you next time.
Dankeschön.
See you next time.
See you next time. Bye. Here's our 30-second hug.